that's a good start. Okay, well, session. Hi. That completely threw me for a curveball, seeing that notification pop up. Anyway, so welcome back to this. I want to call it a hot mess, but there's not really anything hot or messy happening. Context? Fucking hell. Great start. Okay, well...
Bro.
Shh, I didn't slip up at all. Okay, so... So, where we left off, a whole bunch of people were doing a whole bunch of different things. I wasn't able to keep track of literally everything. So, a rough summary, I know two people went to go learn languages. Penton had the whole thing with Lycus and having his mind messed with. I had Alice sent off for her gear re-outfitting and then getting some training done off screen. I can't remember what I had some of the NPCs doing, but it's not... Oh, right, yes. Alec had a couple of interactions. I can't recall who with, but this is what happens when I miss half my notes. Because I forgot to save them last time. Smiley face. Oh, right, at the Arrowman. Had an interaction with Arrowman and found out that Alec was something known as a senseless. Not senseless as in an insult, but senseless as in a tiefling term. But anyway, with with that kind of laid out, I guess. Is looking at the right thing? Yes, it is. With that laid out, the party are woken up the next morning. It is currently the 16th of August, 56 AR. For anybody who is any of my party that have decided to keep track of the date for some reason.
Sorry, what? 16th?
16th of August.
Sorry, I was yawning, so I didn't hear.
Okay, so the group are woken up relatively early. You're not quite certain what the time is, but you are woken up by Mira, who can hear like a sound coming from outside in the hallway, and she's woken up pretty much everybody, trying to work out what that noise is.
Guys, what do you think that noise could be?
I don't know. It's fucking. Look. I cast detect magic.
Okay.
Do I detect any magic around outside the door?
Outside of the door, because it's like a cone-shaped projection.
I'll go up to the door and then
sort
of look around.
Oh, as in, are you using detect magic, or are you just looking out of the door? Just so I'm not confused.
Detect magic by the door. So
Okay, sorry, I wasn't quite certain. My brain got a little bit wrapped up on words. So you go up to the door, you use detect magic, and there are a whole lot of signatures getting pinged up. I mean, go figure, you're in the guild hall still, specifically in your room where all the dorms are. Or dorms. What is this, college? American college dorm? No.
the prison cells in this place.
Nah, not a prison. Too fancy for that.
Hotel rooms.
Basically like high quality hotel rooms. Anyway, before my brain gets too distracted, there is one incredibly powerful magical signature that seems to be moving between, like, from your room's door, and seems to be moving away. Like, say you're standing directly in front of the door, it moves away from you, and then comes back towards you and moves down a step. Moves to the right a little bit, and then does the same thing.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a shot in the dark and just open the door a crack and go, Lupus.
Yep, you open the door, and there is in fact the guildmaster who seems to be checking the door. Who seems to be checking the doors, and you notice that as you stick your head out, he is checking one of the rooms. It's like a door down across on the other side of the hall, and each of the doors flashes with what seems to be like a type of runic magic. You're not quite sure, but it looks very meticulous and, dare I say, fancy.
Did he notice me?
I mean, you said his name, so yes,
yeah.
He has noticed you. He turns his head, and definitely looks pretty tired, and looks to you, Alec. Oh, sorry, did I wake you up at all?
No, you woke Maria up, and Maria woke me up.
It was a consequence of events.
My apologies.
Sequence.
I'm doing what is basically the daily checks of a lot of the different magics that I've had to lay out to make sure this guild is significantly protected from external intrusion.
What time even is it?
It's 4 a.m.
Fuck, Mira.
I'm sure you've been woken up for other things at later times. I can wake you up.
Sleep.
I'll wake you up at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Don't you? I'm going back to sleep, and Alec goes back to his bed and just.
So whilst Alec is going back to sleep, going back to his bed, and your conversation has been occurring, Lucas has gone back to checking each of the doors, and basically checking different areas. If you like, you may go back to sleep. But you do now have the, I guess, the knowledge/understanding that there is I guess some sort of, like, regular check for guild safety. Just a bit awkward that Lupus managed to wake up Mira. Whoops. Anyway, so I'm assuming people are going back to sleep, question mark.
Yeah.
Honk honk, me.
Relatable. Rearrange in alphabetical order because this pleases my brain.
I'm not signed into anything.
You're not. Congratulations.
Well, you're signed into Discord at least.
No.
That's a good
Close
start.
enough.
Watch me close Discord in 3, 2, 1.
That would be rough. I was tempted the moment you said that to, like, wouldn't it be funny if I, like,
to kick me.
Just like,
Hey, I can do it myself. Hang on.
No, don't. Oh, no.
The beauty of admin privileges.
No, the fourth wall. Anyway, after slurping my tea,
Sleep.
so you end up going back to sleep, and the morning rolls around. It's about 4, maybe 5 hours later, and
Nice.
you get up, go through the usual, breakfast, whatever.
Hash browns.
Hell yeah. I hope you know that's a
Nom,
Sleeping
nom,
Wolves.
nom, nom.
That is a Sleeping Wolves Guild staple. There will not be
It sure is.
There will not be a breakfast there without hash browns.
As it should be.
Guildmaster has decreed hash browns for everybody.
Hell yeah. Can he bring
back?
back the breakfast wrap to McDonald's?
No,
Oh,
I never had it, but
it's so good. I don't like egg and I don't like bacon, but put it in a McDonald's breakfast wrap and it's banging.
anyhow, as the party.
I love egg and bacon, so.
Oh, no, don't! You make me hungry, and I'm not eating for like another 3 hours, bro.
Me
Don't
too.
do me
Fuck.
dirty.
I just had a jam sandwich, but like all the jam fell out, so I had to
Oh,
clean it off my plate.
No, that's
Is this IRL or in the table?
both.
IRL.
Oh, Alec, no.
The people at the table, you're approached by Reggie.
Reggie.
Who who does have an updated token. I just forgot to upload it.
That was a mood.
But I will just pop it in the main chat so you can see what he looks like, and viewers will have to just. But I've not got the Roll20 up on the actual stream, so.
He blew.
Imagine a rabbit lad with blue hair.
Yes. Smiley face. So.
It's like Penton, but without the Riz.
Rizless pen. No, Reggie has Riz. Reggie rizzed Alec.
Here's
Big
the
time.
way of thinking of it. He doesn't have to wear the Riz because he has the style. He's got the words. He's got the power. Why do you need visual?
He has
when you
Riz.
have the verbal Riz. That's like the better of the two.
Riz.
Also, that word out of my mouth is possibly the strangest thing I've ever heard. Anyway,
Riz.
the table is approached by Reggie.
Good morning.
Good morning to you as well. Anyway, I haven't come to disturb your breakfast without something to, well, suggest, request, ask. You see, I'm heading off to Rabbit Hobble, just for a little bit of a venture, if you will.
Oh.
I was wondering whether your group would like to come with. I'm mainly asking because, and Reggie nods to Penton, I'm aware that you're from there. I did invite Leon and Frog, but they didn't. I'm not sure whether they will be coming with us for the first day I'm going to visit there.
I mean,
Anyway.
it's certainly been a while. As long as that old gang isn't knocking about anymore, because I feel like I'd be attacked on sight.
Yeah, I'll be walking around with you. I'll be walking around with you anyway.
But no, it'd be nice to see the old stomping grounds, I guess.
And Reggie looks at the rest of the table. Would any of you like to come with?
Yeah.
Yes, I've never been.
Let's go.
I've never been anywhere.
Sorry, I just had to try not to chuckle at that. I'm imagining
Well, you've been
Mira-
places with us, Mira.
I'm
so-
imagining Mira's delivering that with the blankest expression you've ever seen.
That is basically it.
You've been places with us, so it's fine.
So, breakfast wraps up, and I'm presuming you're probably going to do your daily bits and pieces, whatever you want to do before you go with. Slurpstein. Before you head off to go with Reggie to Rabbit Hobble, is there anything that you guys would like to do within the guild beforehand? Is there anything, I guess, of importance, quote unquote?
I'm gonna go find the guildmaster.
Okay. I'm guessing everybody else just kind of waiting for Pendant to come back, or
Yeah, we're waiting at the bus stop.
waiting at the crystal stop?
Waiting for
Waiting in the crystal stop.
This is us.
Vibing at the crystal stop.
Waits faster.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, Penton, you've gone off to go find the guildmaster. Can I ask? I'm presuming you're referring to Lupus, not Ziffy.
Yes.
Okay. So, Penton, you've gone off to go find Lupus, who is basically kind of pacing about one of the gardens. Not pacing around as in like kind of back and forth thinking, pacing around as though he's like checking up on some of the plant life that's there.
Hello?
Oh, hello again.
Don't want to disturb you. I'm assuming you've done all your security checks that you're
Yes.
woken up for.
Yes, I apologise for that. After Nolan found that one little chink that Mace must have used to get through, I've had basically gone through everything, made sure that everything has been properly reset, made sure everything has been doubled down on, and even updated the anti-scrying barrier that surrounds the guild.
The what?
The anti-scrying barrier that surrounds the guild, i.e. trying to make sure that the people that are here feel as safe as humanly possible, because I'm aware that after the last one or two things that have kind of been pear-shaped, like when the guild got invaded by Mace and half the guild was missing, well, let's just say I did not appreciate or enjoy knowing that things had gone pear-shaped, we'll call it that.
So no one outside the guild knows we're here.
Nope. As far as anybody trying to scry in on a conversation or conversations or people, this entire guild just looks like a flat grassy plain.
Complete anonymity, just the way I like it. Anyway, we are going to be going to my old stomping grounds, Rabbit Hovel, and I know you've mentioned several times that there's something you wanted to do with me there, since, you know,
Lupus.
go see my dad.
Lupus raises his eyebrows, turns his head, looks at Penton, until Penton mentions going to visit Reginald's grave, at which point Lupus's expression changes from one of context to one of complete understanding and sudden realization of what Penton is asking. To which Lupus just kind of very gently nods his head. Well, yes, sure. I'll come with. Although, I'll have to make sure that I'm not hanging around there for too long.
Can't keep them off you, eh?
I would say otherwise, but that is quite literally the case.
Yeah, you could do with some anonymity.
I will. You know what? No. I could give you an insult, but I can't be asked.
Yeah,
Give me a
we're
second.
heading off in a bit, so I'll see you then.
Okay. And Penton, you head back to the guild room where the rest of the group, basically the rest of your group, are waiting for you to come back before you guys basically make sure you're ready. Make sure you guys are ready to go, and then go to find Reggie in what is basically the guild warp room, teleport room, whatever you want to call it.
Bus stop?
Sure.
That wasn't that bad, surely.
No, but I just had to take a
Or
moment
Alice is
because my brain nearly went,
Internet.
yes, the guild's bus stop. Except for my brain nearly, you know what? No, it isn't as funny out loud as it is in my head.
Pussy stop.
Literally, I was
Bussy stop.
about to say that word for word,
Oh.
and had to stop myself when I realised what I was about to say. Anyway,
we're all bussy-brained here.
Way.
so you end up gathering together in that room with Reggie and the Guildmaster present, and with a touch of the Reggie touches the crystal, and all of the personnel, all the people, whatever, in this room end up basically being teleported to a new room that you are not quite familiar with. And as you step out of the room, you're standing outside a small guard post in front of a giant fucking mountain. And we're not just talking like large, we're talking borderline like Everest-sized mountain. It's massive. With a large carved archway in in the face of the mountain. Well, Reggie pipes up, turning his head to the rest of you. Welcome to the outside of Rabbit Hovel. Should warn you now, they're going to ask you if you want a wristband. And what that wristband is going to do is indicate to the people living in Rabbit Hovel whether you would like to avoid being part of the promiscuous activities that people end up partaking there. So, if you want to avoid people hitting on you, or hollering at you, or catcalling you, whatever phrase you wish to use, say yes when they offer a wristband. If you're not wearing one, well, expect there to be some hollering.
Understood.
Just to rephrase for Alice, who had to dip because Wi-Fi died, basically Reggie has just explained that when you go to the entranceway of Rabbit Hovel, you will be asked if you want a wristband or not. That wristband will indicate whether or not you are, what's the word? Whether the residents of Rabbit Hovel will try and hit on you or not. Essentially.
Whether or not you are DTF.
Okay. So, I just double check. Alice, can you hear me? Is audio working okay?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, lovely. Did you hear what I said? Or would you like me to
No, I
repeat?
couldn't, but I'm here now.
Okay, basically, brief summary. You're at the entrance of Rabbit Hovel. You're going to get asked if you want a wristband or not. Say yes to the wristband.
What did you say?
If you don't want the people in Rabbit Hovel to hit on you, say yes to getting the wristband. Or if you want residents of Rabbit Hovel to potentially hit on you, say no. Basically, long and short of it. So, your group ends up approaching the entranceway to Rabbit Hovel. It's a large carved arch that's surprisingly impressive stonework. And as you approach, one of the guardsmen steps forward. I've got to remember who this was again. Sorry. Just gotta type this out so Alice's Wi-Fi is not helping her. Okay, so oh god, I should have made my notes a little bit more cohesive. This is what I get for spending far too long paying attention to one thing. So you're approached by a 6-foot male rabbit folk who appears to be wearing the common garbs of a berserker. Oh. Now then. I'm gonna ask you all the basic question you got to answer when you're coming here. Should be a pretty basic one. I'm assuming you've been told about the wristband thing?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely, lovely. Right, so who's taking one and who's not?
I'm taking one.
Mia raises her hand.
Okay, on the Roll20 game, I've not got the Roll20 up on the stream at the moment because there's not anything actually happening on it. But for those of you that have picked up a wristband, I'm going to mark with a purple dot. Just for my sake. Because I can't be asked to draw up like a whole emblem. So Milo's taking one, Mira's taking one, Alice has put in the chat she's taking one. Alec.
I will not.
Okay.
Thought.
Okay, Penton. Are you taking one?
Penton is going to look to Lupus for what answer to give. Not actually
Oh.
saying anything, just like think of
Sim.
answer, but I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Lupus very calmly gives you an expression that gives Penton a rather familiar.
Sorry.
Gives Penton an expression which he is very much familiar with, but doesn't really communicate much to most of the group outside of maybe Reggie. Well, no, sorry, definitely Reggie.
I will not be taking one.
Kay does not take one. Gelda does not take one. Norland does
Kay
not
doesn't
take one. Xanis and Yuzok end up like whispering to one another, having a debate. Yeah, we're not gonna take one.
Ooh.
So only members of the group that are taking bans. I mean, I would say hee hee funny. Fenrir takes a ban, but he's an avatar, so
Coward!
basically doesn't exist. Metaphorically.
Give him a scarf.
There's a kink for that, I'm sure.
Fenrir has a parish kink. Debate the concept of the words you just spoke, sir. Anyway, so
I wasn't really paying attention, so I don't know what I commented on.
exactly. Okay. Anyway, they hand out the wristbands to the three members who have asked for them, and you end up entering the city. And what you witness is both breathtaking and fascinating. If I were to describe to you, the entire city has been carved into the inside of the mountain with a very, well, for lack of better description, it's got a very very oriental kind of style towards the buildings. Lots of curved roofs, lots of like beautiful and bright colours mixed together, but none of these buildings look out of place, and they've used the entire mountain. They haven't just carved out like one layer. There's the ground layer. You can see there's a rather large like sector in one of the, I guess, one of the capital entrance points to the underworld, located more towards, what from your point of view would be more towards the northwestern part of the city. And there are several several houses and buildings and stuff built into the side of the rock face, with staircases and pathways spiraling upwards together, with a very large pillar of what looks to be solid adamantine mixed with a different type of metal you're not quite familiar with, basically holding up, well, I say holding up, like increasing the stability of this location. My question to you, what are you doing? Because I imagine you're probably going to be spreading out whilst you're here, just to investigate about the place and take a little poke around.
Miri's gonna waddle through the town. Not literally. Like, maybe literally, just a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit of waddling.
Just a tiny bit of waddling.
Okay.
We keep it minimal.
Minimize waddling.
Okay, so
What places here do I recognise? Because it's not been that long since I was here, and I've spent most of my life here. What are like the main features?
let me see if I've actually written it out. Did I put everything in the document, or did I forget?
There are
Okay.
10 Pentons. That's the main thing.
I mean,
Oh yeah, you'll quickly find out that I'm one of the tame ones.
yeah, there's a minimum of about 3 million people living inside this mountain. There are a lot of people here. So there is a lot going on here. There are, and when I say a lot, I say that my my location information document on this one place is 3 pages long worth of stuff that's here.
Wow.
But there is one place that you do recognize almost immediately, Penton, and that is a pretty, what I can describe as like a very common style tavern called the Horse and Demon.
Which of you won't be in?
You remember visiting a fair few times, and also have the mildly awkward memory of what occurred within that tavern relating to your backstory.
Maybe you shouldn't go in that one. Or maybe go in disguised. I think I might be barred from that place entirely, actually, considering what happened.
What did you do?
Do you want
Is
to
this
tell
in
Alec what you
character?
did?
You asking this in character?
Is this a character? Yeah,
Is it?
I'm asking character.
Okay.
I made the worst mistake of my life in that building. And it led me on the path that I am now. So I guess it wasn't the worst mistake of my life, but at the time it was. I don't really want to say.
Okay.
Sorry.
But what happened in there was the reason why I ended up at the guild in the state that I ended up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess we won't go in there then. I'm sure there are
You can go
plenty
in
of
there,
other
it's
taverns.
fine. I just genuinely don't know if I'd be allowed in there.
It does say demon on the front, and I am a demon, so
Exactly.
maybe I get free drinks. No, probably not.
Anyway, my question to you is, how, if you are going to like separate across the city, how do you want to separate out, if at all? I say preemptively moving tokens around in preparation.
Mira, wanna run around with me?
Yes!
Okay.
Excellent.
So,
We're gonna sightsee, but we're gonna speedrun it.
okay, so Alec and
We
Mira,
could- We're gonna fly through the city.
Hell yeah!
Okay,
I mean,
so
I
you
could.
two are going off sightseeing.
But very quickly.
Should I like list off the places that are here that I know?
Oh,
so people
yes.
know where they're going.
Unless you
Yes,
two
tell
want-
us places.
Okay. Well, there is a lot here, but I'm just gonna say that Penton gives you some random places to go visit, because I don't think Penton's gonna want the idea of having to scroll through this document I'm currently scrolling through in front of him.
No, I'm basically prompting you to say some key locations, so then people have an idea of where they're going to be venturing to.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a bunch of different forges here. There's a guild hall. There's the Rabbit Hovel Guild here. So there's a guild hall here. There's a lot of theatres. You know. There is a shrine. I'm trying to remember which deity this is, because they've got like a bunch of different names for no reason, because people can't be asked to use the same name for them.
I mean, that is what happens in real life.
Yeah.
So true.
Just look at the Egyptian gods. Oh my god.
Yeah, but some of them are kind of hot, so. Sure.
Just saying you go
Furry.
down on Anubis does not mean.
Hey, you can't call me out like that. Anyway,
I can, I play Smite.
there is a temple to the goddess Azura here. Should you feel the need to go and worship some deities. I don't know why I decided
No, I don't
to
think I will.
divert into a
Some
weird
deities.
voice.
Alec doesn't believe in religion because he is hellspawn. Literally.
So true.
Godless.
And one of the ones that I think Penton will find quite amusing is one that he remembers the name of specifically, that he mentions as the Tavern of the Perpetual Sun. And as he describes it, sounds like quite a fancy dwarven tavern, but it's known for its magical wall, upon which there are always exactly 99 bottles of beer. And is known for having said magical wall.
How the fuck do I break it?
Which
Oh
has
my
been
God.
which has been the case for that one specific wall.
There's always been 99 bottles of beer on the wall. It is punishable by death to take one down and pass it around. Do not touch the bottles.
And then there will be 98 bottles of beer on the wall.
There can never be 98 bottles of beer on the wall.
Oh, I'm deceased. Oh.
Oh dear.
Like at one point one of them went missing, there was a whole scandal about it, was all over the news.
Killed
Now
me.
99 instead of 100.
Someone took one, and that's
Fuck.
that one person that took the 100th bottle and then got slaughtered.
Punishable by death!
They made it an uneven number, I mean, what would you expect?
I mean, valid. Okay, so, before I get too distracted in going hee hee funny,
Beer.
But the song's
right.
pretty catchy.
Huh?
But the song's pretty catchy.
Alice, is there anywhere in particular you would like to go? Are you also gonna kind of just venture around on your own?
I'll just like venture around and do the vibes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Alice is gonna go off venturing around the place. Penton.
Yes. Yeah.
You do it.
Guess I'll take a wander to my literally my old stomping ground, and I guess because Reggie's been the same place, I'll bring him with me.
Okay. So Penton and Reggie end up heading to a part of the city that will be very familiar to both of them. Milo.
Give me a minute.
Okie dokie. I guess in that meantime, Kay's gonna head after Penton to. Actually, would that have happened before, or do you think Kay would have approached you in relation to the thing that you were speaking about last session before you got here?
I've got to set that up, haven't I?
I would assume you would have done that.
Yeah,
Because I
sure.
remember-
Probably made some calls ahead.
Yeah,
If I
because
carry a pigeon or something, I don't know.
I remember us discussing this. So yeah, so Kay's going off to go do her thing. Oh god, I don't know where the hell I'm going with this. Oh, I can't really signal what I'm going in a bit. Actually, fuck it, they can go together. Those two are going to go off and do their own thing. So, we've got Milo, Gelda, Xanis, and Yuzok. And obviously Fenrir, who's just going to go wherever Gelda is. Click. Oh dear. Right. come back to you in a minute, Marlo, and sort out one of the other scenes that be happening first.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, Penton and Reggie, the two of you end up making your way pretty much directly to a very familiar street in this city, as this is the street that your orphanage was on, the one that you got basically given up to. It's still standing,
What does it look like?
same as it always did. A little bit. It's like a stone, half stone, half brick building. It's a little bit unappealing on the eyes. A lot of the glass is very clearly dirty, damaged, or there's boards covering up certain windows that have clearly been smashed.
Yeah, from when... Was one of the windows smashed from when Mace originally broke in?
Yes, that same window has not been repaired, but has been replaced with a large wooden board. And none of the people that... Basically, none of the fellow orphans that you grew up with, for the short time you were there, are there still. The orphans that are within said orphanage are completely new. No familiar faces.
You know, there was a time I thought I'd never get out of this place.
Reggie looks over to Penton with a kind of bittersweet smile. Oh, yes, quite frankly, I thought the same thing myself, and well, here I am now, over, what, 50, 60 years later? I'm a guild member.
60 years?
Why the face? What, did you expect me, did you think I was a lot younger than I am?
There was a kid that looked a bit like you, to be honest. I thought that was you. Over that balcony over there, I used to sit and look out and think where I could go, what I could be. Oh yeah, and there's the courtyard where the kids used to throw stones at me.
They only threw stones at you?
What do you mean they only threw stones at me? What did they do to you?
Reggie kind of looks upwards at the ceiling as though at the roof above the roof of the cabin above you. It's a very long distance out. Well, that's the place that you came from there, yes.
Wait, what, sorry?
And Reggie's pointing to the orphanage that Penton came from.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you came from, yes?
Yes.
Mine was that one down there. And he points to a wooden building that looks like it's barely standing up. Like there are multiple shattered planks, bits of... It looks like a complete mess of a building. Still the exact same as it used to be as well.
That's an orphanage. It looks like a squatter's den.
Mm-hmm. No, that's an orphanage, alright.
My god. I am sorry to hear that. How long did you spend there?
Well, I was quite fortunate. I was only there for about 7, 8 years. Ish.
I was only there for a few years, and I wouldn't go back.
Oh, neither would I. To be fair, the only reason I left was because I managed to get accepted into a place that is unfortunately no longer standing. It was an academy. It literally had the most unoriginal name ever of the Academy for Young Warriors on the island of Canaria. I somehow managed to scrape up the quote-unquote talent and the little bit of gold that I managed to nab from the orphanage's matron to get over to the island. And then I met Aster, I met Tiberius, I met Andrew, 2 others, and Lupus. And ta-da! Oh, And yes, of course, can't forget Cass.
From the ashes grows the rose, eh?
Not sure of a row. Not sure if you could call it ashes in a rose, but from a squatter's den of an orphanage to what I like to joke as the bombshell that I now am. Although I wouldn't exactly think of myself as a bombshell. I've got the moves, but I don't think I personally have the other side of it, as one might think. Embodied as more fear and stuff like that. Anyway. No, the one that's a couple doors down from yours, I believe that's the one that Leon mentioned. He got stuck in before he was able to fully get away to the Bardic College.
Yeah, we used to talk to each other through the wall. Through the fence, sorry.
Yeah, basically a wall just with holes and made out of chain metal and barbed wire over the top. It's like a really demented cake if you think about it hard enough.
Yeah, they were really big on stopping the kids from escaping.
Well, considering that this capital city has possibly one of the biggest orphan problems on the continent, and more than likely across the globe, it makes sense, I guess.
Barbed wire on the fences, but they never reinforced the windows. All it took was a brick through the window, and in he came. And out I went.
Yep, it's unfortunate, but hey, the city thrives on on being one of the best and I guess easiest places to access the underworld. So,
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Reggie raises an eyebrow. Have you ever been down there, or to the underworld? I mean,
A few times, I think.
like to one of the cities, or just a little way down the tunnel?
I don't know. He took me all over the place on our, I want to say adventures, but they were crime sprees.
Of course, I'll judge by your response that you haven't fully been down to one of their cities. A lot of interesting hellhounds and tieflings down there. Although the hellhollow foxes and wolvenites are always a treat to talk to. And maybe the occasional fire genasi if you're crazy enough to go near their villages. Lots of fire and, well, I'd rather not get caught ablaze, if you will.
Well, anyway, I think we stared at this building long enough, they're gonna start thinking we're a bit weird. I see someone in the window.
And Reggie notices a young rabbit-foot boy standing in the window and just very gently waves at him. And he waves back with almost the sight of familiarity on his face. Before Reggie looks over to Penton. Say, I don't think I was here when you were, but I've come back here quite a lot to help some of the orphans here. Bring them some gil, clothing, food, whatever extra we have from either the guild itself or whatever I have left over from missions. I mean, if you can believe it, Cedric comes here to help donate. Maybe not so much in economic or survival supply wise, but literally comes here to help build. And then Brutus supplies a lot of logs and boards and stuff as well.
I did wonder where those shipments were coming from.
Well, I'm surprised I didn't encounter you, to be fair, but I guess that might have been whilst I was stuck at the guild for a little while, one might say.
I'm guessing you didn't hang around in the dark alleys very often, because that's where I was.
Reggie raises one of his eyebrows. Sir, you're talking to me. I've been in every dark alley in this city. I know the place inside out. And I don't mean that in an inappropriate context. For once.
Fair enough.
Reggie clicks his knuckles, and you notice that on his wrists are these retracted claws, not him actually having claws, but like, I guess these bracelets that have like, I guess I can only describe as like almost animal claw style things. I'll see if I can find them. Something kind of like that vibe. I'll just share the image in the chat. Something along that line, but they are fully retracted. Anyway, I suppose your little white mage friend is out and about. You sent her to a relatively safe area, I suppose.
Yeah, I did. I'm still surprised that you even asked, to be honest.
Well, it's always the more scholarly minds that haven't experience. When you don't have the experience, you can't quite make a fully disclosed opinion, if you would like to call it that. Well, matters of curiosity are always one's worth indulging.
Yeah, I've done a fair bit of that in my time.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, nothing should surprise you about me.
Well, I can't say you're wrong, but every rabbit has a secret.
Anyway, other places to see. Let's keep moving.
Of course. So the two of them continue down the street. Milo, I'm going to assume you're still trying to work out where you're going.
I guess I want to see if I can talk to Xanis.
Okay. So... oh dear. So you end up... kind of Gelder ends up like half tagging along with you for a little bit. Because the guy's not really sure where to go. But you end up finding Xanis and Uzok kind of exploring around the place. And you approach Xanis.
Sorry.
Oh, hello Milo.
No. Could I just have a quick word and then I'll let you go on your way?
Xanis seems a little bit confused, but he shrugs, looks over to Uzok, kind of leans, like, kind of on his tiptoes, mumbles something into Uzok's ear, which results in Uzok taking Gelder and Fenrir to go and explore into the town. Give me 2 seconds. So after the two have made their, I guess, distance away from you, Xanis turns to Milo. Well, I would assume I've either done something incorrect, or you're lost, I guess? I don't know. What's up?
No to either of those. I wanted to ask something, and I know this isn't exactly the best place, but I thought better get it done now than forget. Back in Karmas, when I suggested you having someone be your second, why did you ask me?
Xanis seems a little bit taken aback by you asking this. And he looks Milo up and down. Well, it depends on whether you're asking me to be objective, or whether you want me to, I guess, rationalize my emotions within that as well.
I want you to be honest with me.
Right. Well, I'll be honest with you then. As of that point, you had... what's the word? You were a lot more down to earth. You had everybody else's back, and even when they inconvenienced you, you tried to look the other way first before anything else. And also, it seemed like you had your head screwed on. You know, I guess I'll keep my opinion out of it for the time being. What you were then and who you are now are very different. And I don't know whether that's because we as group members and I as a team leader have failed you. I've never really known how to speak to you or Carl. Not to bring him into this, but I've never really known how to speak to either of you. And I get that you're probably still grieving as well, but when I asked you to be my second in command and help me out, it was because you were logical and reasonable. I don't know... I'm not going to condone what Kay did, I'm not going to take a side, but the moment that you two started clashing heads, you changed completely. I don't understand how or why, but you went from being reasonable, rational, and social to losing Carl. Your social behaviors, if you will, changed, which I understand, you know. Losing someone that means a lot to you changes people, and with what happened with Alistair, that entire situation was incredibly creepy. So I get where your changes may have been, but I don't know where this sense of judgment has come along. The way that you spoke to me when we dealt with the judges was, I'll be honest with you, kind of unfair. I understand, you know, in that situation I wasn't thinking clearly, but you didn't need to compare me to people that have been commanded to kill thousands of people like me. But that's pulling my opinion into it. If you want an objective understanding of why I don't want you to be my second in command as of now, and why everybody else is acting, I guess, differently towards you, and why, now that you've started expressing, we've all suddenly turned around to you and not exactly been the most supportive, it's because you yourself have changed. And I don't think it's a way that you've intended. I understand that things are getting a bit much, there's a lot going on, but I don't know where this judgmental and very, I guess for lack of better wording, this need to always be right has come from. It's okay for things to not go morally right. We're in a guild that is neutral. We're not some lawful good group. I'll be honest with you. The guild will dabble in things that are dark and messed up, but they'll also dabble in things that are literally just protecting or purging an area. I don't know what happened that caused this change. Maybe, you know, maybe the rest of us didn't do enough when Carl died. We all let you have your, I guess, have your space to grieve, and none of us really knew when to approach you to talk to you about how you felt. I know Papa Wolf has tried, and maybe not exactly done a great job of it, but if I had to inject my own opinion into what to do here, we need you to be thoughtful. You can make your judgments, you can be however you want to be, but you don't always have to be right. it's okay to, I guess, do what I've done a lot of times, of humbling myself and realizing that my hatred towards someone or my disliking of someone is less important than the situation. Like, I didn't really want to have to bring this up, but the reason why I threw myself off of that cart back on Honeymill to try and save Jasper, I hated him. I hated everything that he did. He ruined a lot of things for me, ruined my perception of my the fellow Lycans in that guild. He damaged a lot of people's opinions, and he divided us. I threw myself off of that cart to save him because nobody deserves to die, regardless of how or what they have done. I understand if that doesn't fit for you. You know, I don't know how you've grown up, I don't know what the loss of Carl and just the general chaos of this guild has done for you, but without sounding like I'm trying to insult you, try and be a little bit more humble. I know that you don't like what's happened, and it's hard for you, but relax a bit. We're not always going to be right. We're not always going to get things done the way we want to. I would rather you spoke to us. Okay, we're not all going to agree with when you express, like, well, what happened with Kay. We're not going to all jump on your side and fight off the person that has upset you or done something wrong to you, but we can understand you a lot better if you're expressive. Like, me personally, I struggle to understand how people act. I don't even know half of what Yuzok's feeling, and he's the most expressive, possibly the most expressive, and, well, not to insult his intelligence, but he's not really got the brains to try and cover up how he's feeling, wears his heart on his sleeve, and I still can't understand him half the time. I still struggle with Kay, and I've known her for pretty much my entire life. I mean, hell, you saw the way I reacted to Penton when he decided it'd be a funny idea to out me for being with you, out me and Yuzok. Sure, it was obvious to everyone else, but I still flipped my lid, because I didn't understand that he was joking around with me. I think while you're here, you need to loosen up a bit. And I don't mean that in a digging at you way or trying to change you. If you don't like certain people, I understand that. I don't like a lot of people as well, but humble yourself a little bit, understand how other people feel, try and do what Kay does and get the context for everything, and then form an opinion. That's what I'm trying to learn to do. Anyway, I think that's Mira standing up on the hill over there staring at us, so I don't know, I'll summarize it as this. I don't know what's going on with you, but I guess I hope it gets better for you. I don't really know what to say that'll give you a full understanding of how I feel right now, or how everybody else feels about the way you've been. But I've tried my best to give you a bit of an objective understanding of why I've gone from wanting you as as the second in command to now trying to put that bit of distance between us, because I don't know where I stand with everybody right now. It's a whole divide of everybody likes one person or everybody likes the other. I didn't enjoy it when it happened with Jasper. I don't enjoy it now. So, I'm gonna go and find wherever Yuzok and Jelda have gone off to. And I'll talk to you whenever you're ready to talk to me.
Okay.
And Xanis very, very politely bows. And it seems like he wants to say something, wants to say more, but shakes his head, lets out a sigh, and walks away. And in the distance, you hear Mira hollering like a banshee. It appears that she has lost, for lack of better wording, has lost Alec for the time being.
Alec, where have you gone? You're supposed to be tall like a lighthouse and I can't see you.
For context, I have temporarily put Alec with Alice. For the sake of your first little scene.
Lamau.
The lighthouse is gone.
No, I would imagine Mira. I would imagine in this context, Mira's probably asked Alec to stay with Alice for a little bit. No, more in a. I'm trying. Okay, hear me out. I'm trying to work out a way in which this scenario plays out, and I feel like that will be the best way of doing it. Mira drops Alec off with Alice, tells him not to get in trouble.
She forgot. She forgot she dropped Alec off.
Sorry, I know it's a little bit clunky in terms of how I'm managing it, but my brain cells are here, there, and everywhere.
What a
That's
mood,
chill.
Chief. What a mood.
Okay, so Milo, you are approached by Mira.
Mimi! Hello.
Hi.
Wow, you look downtrodden. What's up with you?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm gonna worry about it because you look a bit frowny.
I'm always a bit frowny.
What's that? You're always frowny?
Yes.
Then maybe we should turn that frown upside down. You know, we're in a whole new place. We can do whatever we want.
I'm not really sure what to do.
Okay. Well, what's something you've always wanted to do, but you've never had the opportunity to do so?
I guess go shopping for insignificant items.
You want to buy tat? I love buying tat. Okay. Look around. What's the first store that piques your interest? Don't think about it, just point.
Marlo looks around.
Okay, so as you're investigating around, do you want to roll a check, or do you want me to just pick the first thing that pops up on your with your passive investigation? Depends on which one tickles your brain cells and serotonin more.
I'll go passive.
Okay. Oh shit. I need to actually have my because I've got everybody's passive perceptions and passive investigations pop down on my little combat tracker, which is basically just my generic do for everything tool. Passive investigation for Milo is 19, and for Mira it is fucking hell 39. 69.
I can perceive.
It's investigation, but sure, close enough.
I can investigate.
So, as the two of you are looking around, you find a little shop. Fucking, where is it? I literally had it highlighted. Oh, I clicked off of it. That's why. Let me find it again. You find a little plant shop called Green Home. It's a single-story building. It's kind of made like it's a It's like a half made of like wood logs, and then the rest of it seems to be like stranded up flowering vines and like plant life basically that makes up the rest of the building.
Okay.
Hey Milo, the rule of today, you're not allowed to think. Okay? Thinking's bad, that's why I don't do it.
I could refute that with a good few reasons as to why thinking about things is good.
That's not the importance of today, Mimi. No thinking, no brainage.
Um,
We are gonna make you be impulsive.
but why?
Because it's fun! And I want you to have fun, because you're always very grouchy.
Well, let's go into here then.
Okay.
Okay, so as you enter Greenholm, you are what I'm going to call jump scared by the shop's owner. These are, I guess, to describe what it says, like what's the description of the store is that it is what is essentially a false plant shop, by which the plants themselves have been magically taxidermied, for lack of a better description.
Okay.
Essentially, they are a direct replica of a living plant, but they require 0 maintenance. So they're just, like, aesthetics plants. I should really have found a better word than the word taxidermy, but you know what? We go with it.
They're models, basically.
Preserved. They're
Effectively,
preserved.
they're like living models, basically.
Oh, they're model.
Like, for the closest description I can get. But as you walk in, you are jump scared by the fact that instead of there being like a person at the counter, there is a young green dragon curled up, sitting in the shop, surrounded by her plants.
Oh, there's so many. Which one's calling your name, Mimi?
Marge's gonna start looking around at the flowers.
So, as you look around, there's one that catches your eye. And it is described as a hell blossom. And underneath it, there is a little etching of its infernal name. Which roughly, I'll say, because I couldn't think of a good name for it, it roughly translates to lava petals. As it's not the most... You can definitely tell that whoever's written the infernal is not... like, not amazing. Not amazing at translation, but it's pretty close. It's like a couple of like little brush strokes off, and that's it. But you recognize this flower, Milo. I don't even need to make you roll a history check. You immediately recognize it because it's the same flower that your mother has basically plastered all over the place wherever there's floral decorations, and it's the same flower that your tiefling grandmother has pinned in her hair. Make sure I have actually remembered the positioning of the flowers, so I can't remember if it's over the hair or like on the... Let me grab the artwork. Where is it? I'm being blind. There it is.
I think there's one in the hair and then like a bunch on her.
I think I have the artwork.
It's,
Hang on.
it's like almost like a... I can't think of the word. But but goes like from one shoulder across the other. It's like a what is it?
That is
That
wrong
is
person.
Karina, my
That's
Oh.
rude.
I'm thinking
Wait,
of
who are we talking about?
Paradise.
Perdita.
Pear.
Oh, I do have pear. Hang on.
Yeah, I've also got.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It was-
So.
There it is.
I forget what the name of that specific article of clothing is.
Looks like a sash.
A sash.
Overall.
It's a sash.
It's flowers.
My brain went sachet, and I was like, no, that's a food thing.
Sauce.
You remember that
Sauce.
flower because your grandmother Paradita, or Pear as people often refer to her, has what is basically a sash of these flowers strung across her shoulder. And it is in full bloom.
Oh, this one's really pretty. I could tell that you really wanted Mimi.
Not really.
What do you mean, not really?
I just recognise the flower.
Oh, what one do you want?
Milo just looking around. Sometimes it doesn't come to you immediately. Sometimes it has to have some time.
Okay. Well, the point of this exercise isn't to spend too much time.
As you're looking around, the shop owner herself, her head raises slightly, and she speaks something in Draconic.
I don't think any of us know it. I mean, I'm studying it, but
No.
Are either of you going to tell her that you can't understand her because she is?
oh,
Um,
sorry, we're speech draconic.
Ah, right. My apologies. You see, my name is Mila. I am this shop's plant owner. I'm also the one who cultivates these plants.
Well, they're very pretty. I like them.
She looks at Milo and tilts her head slightly. You don't quite seem to be certain of the options that I have on display. Perhaps some of these might be of interest to you. And she very gently exhales what seems to be like a tiny wind breath weapon sort of thing. And it blows some of the vines out of the way and reveals a large bundle of these like bright yellow flowers. I can't pronounce the name of it, so I'm not gonna try, but
chrysanthemum.
okay, those, because my brain will just end up biting my own tongue when I try and pronounce it.
Milo looks at the yellow ones specifically. And how much are these?
She has a little bit of a laugh in what it's definitely she's ended up accidentally reverting back to Draconic before she very quietly speaks in Infernal. For you, dear, seeming as you are feeling glum and I am aware of just what those flowers typically represent. You can take them as they are. If you feel the need to repay me somehow, I would say to do what makes you feel happy. Find the part of yourself that you want to focus on, and make sure that you look after yourself. Desolation is a tough path, but not one that necessarily needs to be tread alone. You will always have people there to support you when you're ready to let them in. And she smiles, as Mira is just standing there looking completely clueless.
I have no idea what you just said, but I'm sure it was great, so thumbs up to you.
Myla just has a little, kind of has like a little smile on her face. I mean, she's a dragon, so she can only smile so much before it looks like she's about to bare her fangs. But very, very gently speaks in Goblin. Don't worry, dear. I was merely reassuring your friend here that these flowers are in perfect condition, and they're a recent addition to the shop floor.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
she returns to her returns to common to basically say that they are ready for taking whenever the two of you are ready.
Yeah.
So I will make a note on my, just add to my mid-session notes to add that to a, we'll call it a collectible, so you can decorate your room with it, why not?
Oh,
Just gonna totally not copy and paste that text because I'm not spelling that out word for word, or letter for letter.
Mhm.
Okay, so your knick-knack has been acquired, if I could call it that. Just remove that. Where have you gone? Anyway, during the wandering around, Reggie has had to briefly excuse himself from leading Penton around to go and just briefly have a short chat with somebody that he recognizes. And during this time, he is approached by Gelda, who is now on his own. Oh. So, Penton, you end up finding Gelda, who's sitting on a bench, very clearly deep in thought. It doesn't look like happy thoughts either.
Hello, Gilda. What ails you?
Oh, well, nothing too serious. I'm sure it's something that everybody experiences. You know, Fenrir is not here. I should probably point that out. There is no trace of Fenrir to be seen.
And it's going to look quizzically at Gelda, but I'll to continue.
You see, how does one word it? Oh god, now I've got things how to word it as well. Fuck. I had it on my brain, now it's gone. Okay. Well, let's don't know if being with Milo is the right thing for either of us at this point.
And why do you think that?
He lets out a long sigh. During those 2 days that he was in the library at the guild, it left me to think on a lot. And I don't know if I still feel the same way I did. I still feel attracted to him, like, I guess on a physical and communication level, but he's not the same person I thought he was, if that makes sense. Like, I made a misread in character, and whilst I still think highly of him, I don't quite think I'm ready to, well, not only give up my questionable life in that manner, as it's still something quite impactful to debate whether I keep hold of or not. You know, with him being ace, which is fine. Jelda puts his hands up by either side of his head. I've got nothing against people that are asexual. I just don't know if I'm willing to be that as well. And then there's a lot of baggage on his end that I feel like I'm just going to cause more problems with if I get involved. When, you know, Mira's doing a lot more for him than I could ever do, and it does just kind of feel like I follow like a lost sheep, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know how to initiate or approach or with losing Mother, I've just kind of been leeching off of everybody else in hopes that I might be able to feel a little bit better about myself.
So you feel it's not the right time for you?
Jelda just very slowly nods. I didn't want Fenrir around for a while to give me some space to think, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not entirely unhappy, but I can help. I can try. I just don't think I'm gonna do a very good job of it. You know?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, look at my first relationship. It was with Alice, and I'd been with many partners before then, and Alice was my first actual relationship, and I rushed into it, and it wasn't really meant to be, and sometimes it's not.
Jelda kind of tilts forward and puts his head in his hands. I don't know, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know where to go from now. Like, I've kind of resolved myself that I'm going to have to speak to him and probably end up breaking things off, but I don't feel like I have a purpose now that Mother's gone. I spent so long trying to make sure that she would be okay and survive her Magitech poisoning. But now the only thing that I really seem to have on my mind is trying to find the members of my family that have gone missing. Obviously, after helping, I guess, Group U, or the group that I'm still part of, once we've dealt with that Tuck Abomination mission or whatever it is that we've been sent on, and the Guildmaster's not been able to break things away from, once we've dealt with that, I want to go and search for what's left of my family.
I understand. There's nothing wrong with needing time to work on you. And put yourself first. I mean, there's only one you in life and you need to take care of it.
Jelda just has like a little bit of a weak smile on his face. I appreciate it, Phantom. I'm gonna go and talk to him, sort things out, and then I'm probably gonna go back to the guild. I have some things that I need to discuss with the other guild master about me going out searching. Or I need to go and talk to Zippy about where I can search for my family without, potentially getting myself killed in the process.
Would that be as part of the guild, or would you be leaving at least for the time being?
Gelda sits up and has a bit of a frown on his face. I'm not quite sure yet. Being as part of the guild would mean having more protections, but also more restrictions on what I can and cannot do.
But being a Bloodline member means that you've got a target on your back.
I'm going to have a target on my back anyway. If I leave, I've got less chance of being able to shelter myself in the guild, or in any other guild. But if I stay, well, should I have to commit some acts that are less than ideal to find people, then, well, Gelda stands up. Well, I'm gonna go and have a word with him, and then I'll see you when I see you, whenever you guys are coming back.
Sure thing, Gelda. And if you ever need anything, you know where I am.
Penton gets very quickly embraced in a hug before Gelda walks away. And whilst Milo and Mira are wandering around the town, you are approached by Gelda. I should also clarify that during the time that Gelda has moved from talking to Penton to approaching Mira and Milo, Reggie has returned to come and recollect Penton, if you will. So, Mira and Milo, you're approached by Gelda, looks a little bit crestfallen, but has a small amount of determination about him. Hello, you two.
No.
Oh, hi, Gelda.
I don't know whether you'd rather Mira be here or not, but I'd like to say something regarding us as a duo, if that's okay.
I think I have something to say about it as well. Mira, would you mind just stepping away for a little bit?
Okay, I'll go T-pose in the corner.
Okay.
Gelda just shakes her head a little bit at Mira, but Mira kind of backs off, heads a little bit of a way down the street to sit on a bench, I'm gonna say, and wait for the two. And Gelda looks to Milo and gives direct eye contact. I don't know whether it's the same for you, but I'm thinking that we may not work out as we are now. You've got a lot of baggage on your shoulders with Carl and how things are going with your family and, well, Mother's death and the revelations I've had as of late. I don't think it's gonna work.
I agree.
I think between the two of us, it could have worked if circumstances hadn't been the way they are. But I don't want this to, I guess, ruin any potential friendship that we could have if you still want to be friends with me after, well, putting you in a bit of an awkward position, I suppose is the best way of wording it.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, considering I am agreeing with you.
I mean, as in when I approached you about my concerns relating to you and Cade not speaking.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I'm still sorry for that, by the way. But
Noted.
Gelda kind of lets out a little sigh, knowing that bringing that up probably wasn't his best idea, but there was kind of a compulsion within him to state it. But I would hope that we can still be friends or something on that line. I would very much enjoy if you could help me brush Fenrir like we've done previously. It's a much easier job when there's two people doing it. And he scratches the back of his head, looking a bit sheepish.
I don't mind staying friends.
And upon saying that, Jelda's face lights up a little bit. Well, that's good. I was a little bit worried that, some people, when they break apart, don't talk to each other anymore and whatever. But, of course, I'm gonna be going back to the guild. And I guess, I'll see you and the others when you get back.
Yeah. If I see any of the others, I'll bring it up with them if you want. Or Tumblr as well.
He shakes his head. It'll be fine. I don't think that'll be necessary.
Alright.
To be fair, we've got, the kind of little flirtatious moments we've had have been very mild, for lack of better wording. I don't think anybody's really going to be surprised. It'll be more of a close friendship, I suppose.
I guess.
Also, I've noticed you've been carrying that amulet around from Yama. Do you want me to, deal with that?
No.
Okay. I thought I'd ask, 'cause, I wasn't quite sure. But, yeah. I'll see you and the others when you get back.
Okay.
Gelda gives a very brief smile and starts moving away before he adds on, and I hope that you guys have fun. It'll be nice. It's nice to see you not completely down in the dumps. And Gelda gives you a kind of warm smile before leaving. And shouting over to Mira that she's okay, she is good to come back over to you.
Waddle.
Aw.
In public.
Yes.
Again.
Look, you cannot stop the waddling.
I wish I could.
We wish for a lot of things, maybe, but I'm afraid that is one thing you cannot seize.
Pulls out sniper rifle, shoots Mira in the feet.
She continues to waddle.
Continues to what? No.
Through the, she waddles. She
on
does.
her knees.
Oh, she
Goes on
like
her
this.
knees and waddles.
She handstands.
Oh dear.
She gets a piggyback from Alec, and then he waddles.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Anyway, moving onwards.
Right.
What?
So, Mira, is there anything else that you are trying to get me to do?
Wow. You know how you always say that I make a scene of myself? We're gonna make you have a scene.
No.
Yes.
No, Mira,
Yes.
Mira, please.
No, it's not that bad. We're just gonna get you something that makes a lot of noise and then parade you through the town.
Is that even legal? Won't we be arrested for being nuisances or loud or whatever the fuck?
I don't know. But it's a risk I'm willing to take.
I'm not.
Not when we're being impulsive, so you can't use your rationality. No brain allowed, Mimi. Can I see any place with, like, instruments or, like, noisy things? Things that make a noise?
Yes, there is. There conveniently happens to be at the end of this. At the end of this street, there is a music shop, within which your eyes are caught immediately by a giant tuba. Not tuna, the fish. Tuba, the instrument.
Tuba! Mimi! We're gonna get you to play the tuba! And you can't say no.
How the fuck am I going to carry that mirror?
I don't know. Consequences later. Action first. That's what we're doing today. Waddles over.
Okay, so you end up going over to the shop, and they're having a special today, where they will loan out instruments,
Why?
provided that they are returned at the end of the day.
So, we would like your finest tuba, please.
And yeah, there isn't really much debate. I need to actually check. Where am I? Frig. Let me scroll down. Wee. Sure. Yeah. So the merchant at the counter. Yet another rapid folk. Seems like this place is overflowing with them. Almost like it's rapid.
Chop.
Shock horror. Anyway. So yeah. Basically there's no questions asked. The instrument is loaned to you, you have to sign a bit of paper that he gives you a pen for. And so ta-da! Mirror is now basically handing Milo a tuba.
Okay, we're gonna go outside and you're gonna play it.
Why?
Because we're being impulsive, we're having fun.
Milo looks physically pained.
No, you can go to the toilet after. Go on, out. I push him out.
So Milo, I'm imagining like Milo's trying to dig his heels in, so Mirror's just sliding him across the floor. So Mirror is pushing Milo out the door, and Milo's, I'm imagining, standing quite stiffly with the tuba in his hands, like, what the fuck do I do with this? In the middle of the street. Where
Okay,
Mirror
maybe.
stops pushing you.
Play.
Milo looks down at the tuba, looks at Mirror, looks back down at the instrument. What the fuck do you expect me to do?
Just play. No brain. Do it.
One second. I'm loading back Roll20. I rolled a 24 on performance.
So you blow onto the tuba, or onto the pipe of the tuba, and the tuba makes a loud sound. Initially, it kind of makes you jump, but it's a surprisingly good quality blow. Wait, hang on a minute. It's a surprisingly good quality sound.
Excuse me.
context. Hang on. Oh no. I promise that wasn't on purpose. Complete slip of the tongue. Okay. How do I recover from
No
this?
comment,
Fuck.
no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment.
So out of the tuba comes a surprisingly good sound, and there's a small part of you, Milo, that's like internally screeching because you just blew this instrument.
Stop drawing attention to it.
I mean, well,
If it exists,
The
it deserves
other-
to be pointed out.
the other side of your brain is like, ooh, this is a little bit fun, but also the other side, there's like two sides of you. One side is just screeching, why am I doing this? The other side is kind of slowly starting to So, yeah. It's like, it's entertaining, but also there's a small part of you that's like, why am I doing this? Oh, the not the why kind of vibe. I have to like get close to the mic if I want to make weird noises. So yes, Milo, you are currently tubering. You're currently
Tubing.
I
playing an
swear
instrument.
to fucking god, if I fucking see Alec.
Keep
I know
going, Mimi.
exactly what I'm gonna do.
We should draw a crowd.
No, we're not.
No. A lot of passers-by are kind of looking over and seem to be mildly amused, but they don't really seem to care. The convenience is this is Rabbit Hovel. Loud noises
This-
are kind of part of the bog standard, so this is nothing different from their day to day.
Fair.
So, what is the plan from here, Mira and Milo? What are you doing?
Apparently walking around, because if we want to do anything else, this is the fucking tube is gonna have to be given back.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
It's the whole day. You have this thing basically rented for the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If we're doing the thing that we've got planned, we can't exactly do that whilst Milo's holding a massive tuba.
Put it down on the ground for a second then.
I mean,
No.
if it's the next thing, then I am. If it's this. If it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh!
I know.
Because that leads into the next thing.
You can
Oh,
put it
yeah.
down after.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
So, Mira, you end up turning to Milo and basically getting him to follow you with Tuba in possession. Meanwhile,
He has to keep playing it.
yeah, he keeps playing it until you reach a certain street where you recognize a very familiar face. Anyway, in the meantime, Alice and Alec, the two of you, have ended up finding a nice little, like, what I want to describe as like a coffee shop sort of thing. It's a little snack stand with a few chairs and tables outside of it.
Do they have iced tea?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a cute location.
A lot of the
I
food
want
stuff
iced
here
tea.
are based on like, well, your typical like there's a lot of like carrot buns and stuff like that. Lots of different vegetarian options. Surprisingly, some meat options as well. If you thought rabbit folk were vegetarian, oh boy, are you wrong.
The urge to say no, they like their meat.
That's kind of the joke I was gonna make, but I thought, nah.
Too bad, I already did.
I know, it sounded funnier out of your mouth than it did mine. So no, you two are currently sitting at a small, like, what I'm gonna say is like kind of coffee shop-esque, but it's out in the open. Having some, Alec, you're drinking iced tea, and Alice, what are you doing? What is Alice currently drinking slash? I presume no. Yeah. What is Alice drinking?
She's probably having a little herbal tea or something.
Okay. So two of you are sitting together. This is the first time in a while where you've been able to like properly sit down with one another.
Oh, this is very peaceful. This rabbit hole area. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's called Rabbit Hovel, but sure. Good tea.
I did call it rabbit hole.
Hovel.
Oh,
Hovel, darling. Like
Oh,
a hovel.
sorry, it will forever be rabbit hole to me.
Like
That's fine.
shovel, but without the
I
S.
mean, at least you've gone into it with the right expectation.
I mean,
Sorry. From the moment I was asked about the wristband, I really had one thing on my mind.
I don't blame you. I don't.
Sorry, we got sidetracked.
Nah, that's perfectly fine. Carry on as you were. Downtime session, so there's nothing too major if we end up using up loads of time, because this is for your relaxation. So
Woo.
take your time, go wild.
How have you been finding the combat as a party now? I've been really interested in like seeing how well we can work together and like understanding how we can all, cooperate as a party. Especially as the encounters, they get way harder, them enemies.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. Oh yeah, what did you get for your gear? Look at this scimitar I got, and I bring out my scimitar. Look at this. And I wave it
Whoa!
around.
What the? That's so
It's so
cool.
cool.
Let me see it.
Look.
So if I'm to picture this right, just so I can paint a scene for anybody else that's trying to picture.
Yeah,
what's
I did just
happening.
get out a weapon in a
You pulled
coffee
out...
shop.
No. You pulled out a scimitar. I'm assuming you've like given it a little wave around, and when
Yeah.
Alice is asked to see it, I'm presuming you put it down on the table.
No, I'm just waving it closer to her face.
Okay.
Oh! The swooshing right in my face. Can I hold
Mhm.
it?
Did you get anything?
You bet I got things. Let me just whip out my fancy gear. I got the well, you already knew I had the Kaiser knuckles, but look at these. Like, shows off her fancy hand.
So
Cool.
as Alice shows them off, you can see that they've been upgraded with lots of new, like a few new things, but yeah, like I'd say the only thing you've kind of like as she's showing them off, you kind of realize now that Alice had a lot less beforehand in terms of what like gear she was wearing. You've noticed that it's like a complete change, if you will. She's gone from, I don't want to say wearing barely nothing, or wearing, because that just sounds really weird.
Whoa! Alice was wearing clothes the entire
No,
time.
I
I
know,
will
that's
have
why.
you know.
That's why I was like, I shouldn't word it like that. But she's gone from, I guess, very minimalist in terms of what she was outfitted with in terms of gear, to she is now fully decked out.
Let me show you all these things. She's gonna stand up and show off her champion's belt and her enduring boots. Look at these! Woohoo! I got so many fancy things. I got this fancy witch's bracelet. She's gonna flash her bracelet. Also this sober ring. Oh, that one's really, really sexy. Then I got this whistlewind scarf. She's gonna flick her scarf. And the Sentinel's drapes. Ooh. And my
Okay.
winged helmet, of course.
Okay.
How could we forget?
Are
Yeah.
you done?
No, I saw. No, I'm joking. Yeah, that's pretty. Well, I could go into more details on all of it
Please
because
don't.
it is pretty cool. But yeah.
Damn, I wish I didn't ask.
Rude.
Well, I mean, that was very
Oh my
long.
god, that was savage. What the fuck? Oh, sorry.
Girl, you don't ask me for what magic gear I get, and then when I tell you, you're like, well, I didn't
Oh,
get
No,
to
no,
magic.
it's fine. It's fine.
I'm
Don't worry about
sorry
it.
if I hurt anybody's eardrums with that. That was.
You didn't. I didn't hear
Oh my
anything.
god.
It hurt mine.
Hurt my soul.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alice, your gear is very cool. It's just there's a lot of it, you know.
Yeah, well, it's gonna make me even greater in combat, and I cannot wait for our next encounter where I am gonna slay the dragons or whatever we encounter. But it would be
It's
cool if we
Mace
could look at
next, I
dragons.
think. It's probably Mace. We're supposed
Well,
to
Mace
hunt
is gonna
or something.
stand a chance. Look at this.
So, as you two are having your conversation, and Alex like, "Oh, okay, you're flexing, cool, little too much, but you know, I'm not gonna try and insert too much presuming of opinions because I'm not sure where brains are going right now, but you two are kind of just going about having your vibe. Mira and Milo, can you just roll me some stealth checks, please?
Okay.
Before we roll,
Why are
I'm
they stealthy? What?
going
What's
to
going on?
pass King Honko Ichi.
Was that Tonko, yeah?
Yeah, I become invisible for 5 rounds.
Okie dokie. So 30 seconds. Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I rolled a natural 20.
And I'm just getting that plus 20 because I'm moving.
Yeah. I gotta love like Vanish and its offshoots. Because the terrifying thing with Vanish is when you're standing still.
Mm-hmm. Plus
It's
40,
fucking
baby.
terrifying. Which, fun fact, the cap check that you can roll for any of these is with plus 80 bonus. So it's like, hey, here's half of your oh my good lord. Did you need to roll the D10?
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Just roll the D20. Don't worry, I'll help you with the maths. Oops, I did it again.
I played it again.
35, 45.
I lost a stuff
53.
check. Oh baby,
Can
baby.
I still ask Alex something?
Yeah, go for it. Whilst we're quietly working this out in the background.
Yeah.
53.
So, Alec, I have been meaning to ask, because you do super cool things on the battlefield. I wonder if there's anything that maybe you could teach me, so that I can whip out, some more skills. Or if there's anything that I could teach you.
Time magic is pretty specialist. I don't know if there's any
I know,
overlap.
it's super cool.
Yeah, it's super cool when I'm not like dying.
What do you mean dying? When are you dying?
You didn't see with the dragon where I was spent half of it.
Oh, I
On
mean,
the
yeah,
ground?
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that time magic was physically killing you. I mean,
No.
like a thief or something.
But like, what languages do you know?
Oh, literally nothing. Elven.
Well-
I do know Elven. My mother tongue.
I could teach you some infernal or some abyssal.
Yeah. Which is the cooler one? I want to be cool. Infernal's cool, right?
Sure.
Teach me.
Okay, I teach her some infernal.
Okay. So Alice, can you make me a linguistics check, please?
Just.
I'm begging for Alice to fail so I can say the greatest pun ever known to man.
Thou shalt not fail. Come on, linguistics check. Ah. Okay, well that wasn't a great roll, but let's see if we can make it any better. Linguistics, where the hell is linguistics? Oh, okay. That saved it.
No.
That's an unnatural 20.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that you're trying to. Alec, are you trying to teach all three, like reading, writing, and speaking, or are you
Probably
focusing on
just
one?
like some phrases, like speaking phrases, just a couple of.
So speaking. Like if I were to ask you out
Hello.
of those three categories that you can do.
Speaking.
Speaking, yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so because you are.
Can I teach her? Can I teach her something wrong?
Why?
No!
I think it will be funny. I want to
Okay.
teach her like.
Work out what you want to teach her that's incorrect, and then work it out between the two of you, like post session or something, when you two have time. Because I think yes, it's gonna be really funny, but also I genuinely want to make a note of that because that may or may not come up. I imagine at some point.
Okay, I've got an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna teach her. What I'm gonna tell her it means "How are you," but it really means "Wanna fuck."
Oh!
That's what I'm gonna teach her. Because I'm
You're
an
mature.
idiot, and I think I'm really immature, and I think that'll be funny.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Alice will be with her high charisma will end up accidentally seducing a demon or a devil. That'd actually be kind of funny.
Let's go!
Like,
Or Milo.
Can you imagine Alex like, and, like Alec is just like evilly chuckling to himself that, haha, I taught you this thing wrong, and then Alice
Do I need
ends
to
up, like,
roll deception?
Nah, because you're teaching her. You're teaching her.
Yeah.
So because you're I'm gonna say now because you're it's an inherent part of your, I guess, species or race, whichever term you prefer more between the two. Because it's an inherent thing that you are capable of speaking. You are actually a really damn good teacher, especially with your high intelligence as well. And Alice is a pretty good role. So collectively,
Wah wah wee wah. Oh,
What does that mean, Milo?
She's
What
just
the
been
fuck?
racist.
so as you're teaching, you're like neither of you notice the approaching
no.
thing, and suddenly,
Fucking, I peeked the mic.
oh no,
Karma's about to hit me.
Oh, I peeked the mic.
oh no,
Oh no, I peeked the
I'm a-
mic.
Oh,
You
that's
didn't
just
hear a
run-
fucking thing.
No, we didn't.
Okay, what do I have? I have a fart sound effect. Will that work?
no, hang on.
Oh.
Please don't.
Sorry, that was really cute. What the fuck? I just had a noise. Okay, so you are jump scared by the sound of a tuba being blown really. Please don't be
oh my god, who just wanted the tuba?
That came through.
Do they blow up? Do they blow it in my ear?
Like
it's
right next to
being-
your face.
It's basically like right next to you, because Milo becomes uninvisible after doing that, and jump scaring the crap out of both
orchestra.
of you. He is standing there, basically right next to the table with a tuba. And Mira is... You can see Mira hiding behind one of, like, the, like... what would I call it? It's like a little gate thing that kind of separates off the area you're sitting in from the rest of the street. She's been hiding behind one of the fence posts of that. So Milo has just appeared out of nowhere with a tuba and blown it really loudly.
Milo, what are you doing? When did you get a tuba?
Did Maria put you up to this?
Maria, did you give Milo a tuba?
I answer no questions without my lawyer.
I imagine... Oh my god.
Lawyer?
I want to just put this image into everybody else's head. As Alice has said that, Amira replies, her head, like, slowly pokes above the fence. Like, in the most slowest way possible. The blankest fucking expression you've ever seen.
It's like the guard dog in Undertale.
Literally that. Oh my god. The exact same thing.
God, I hope there's a gif of it. Undertale.
I hate how we're both looking for the same thing now.
Please tell me it's the... Oh, it's not the peaking one, it's just the normal one. This is actually depressing. No, I don't want to see Sans.
No, I'll
Sans Undertale?
Sans Undertale.
Working out.
I'll try to find it. Okay, it's doggo.
My lungs hurt. I'm just saying this now.
I mean, you just tried to, like, imitate a tuba. My chest hurts.
But the first time, I quite actually just screamed incoherent noise into the mic without my mic protector thing on.
Work. Oh my
And I
I
peaked
feel
it so
bad.
hard. And then I proceeded to laugh. And then I did another imitation and then proceeded to actually die.
This is the
Anyway,
best I can get.
Rip
Yeah.
Milo.
Damn. Anyway.
But it didn't fucking work. Ah!
Anyway, the scene.
Yeah, so anyway, so the four of you are currently, together, just, existing.
How did you sneak up on me like that, Milo?
I got it.
Magic. Oh well, ninjutsu.
Fuck. I need to find a way to counter that.
We're gonna get our revenge. You gonna be watching your backs when you're sleeping.
Great. Now that we actually have you here, Mira, I'm feeling up for some punch tag.
Yes. Play punch tag with us!
What did she say?
By punch tag!
Punch tag. She's
Punch
inviting you to punch tag.
Punch
Do you want
tag!
to join?
Okay, I punch Mira and then I
No.
immediately
Oh, we need-
cast,
We need
and then
more
I immediately
participants!
and then I immediately cast fly and then I
I start
just
running.
fly up
That's
and
cheating!
then you can't
Okay.
hit me.
I start running with the tuba.
Are there a group of people nearby? When I say people, you know what I mean.
You're referring to
Ladies of the night.
Ladies of the night, yes. So,
Yes.
Alice, I just want to describe this whole sequence of events from your POV. So Alec is
Yes.
Alice is Alice. You just watch as Alec basically has punched Mira very lightly, starts flying away into the air. Milo has just started sprinting down the pathway with the tuba still on his person, and Mira's looking around. She runs up to a bunch of ladies of the night, invites them to play, and surprisingly enough, they accept. So you just watch these women of the night and Mira sprinting off down the street, with Mira trying to catch either Milo or Alec, who are current, one of which is in the air, the other one which is full pelt sprinting it down the road with a tuba. God, I really wish that I could animate. But and after a few moments, you are left on your own. Or so you
The
thought.
faint sounds of a tuba.
Just very quietly in the distance. Desperate tuba intensifies. Anyway, okay. So, Alice, you're just kind of left sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? And then,
Yes.
and then in the distance, you hear your name being called. Alice?
Uh-oh.
Well then, the fuck you doing here on your own? And
Hello?
Lunannon comes to sit at the table with you.
Oh, lovely to see you. What are you doing round here?
Well, I thought I'd take a look around take a look around the old stomping grounds. You know, nothing too fancy.
Did you just witness someone flying and someone running away with a tuba?
He just very gently nods. Unfortunately, lass, it seems like a couple of your friends are not exactly the brightest ones of the bunch. Although I will admit, it was quite funny just watching them try and sneak up. Say, you wouldn't happen to have some time free, would you?
Well, I could make some time free right now.
Well, I was wondering, lass, if you'd like to spend a little bit getting to know one another.
Let's do it.
And what I'm gonna do is, because there is one scene I definitely want to charge our slide in before things wrap up, is I'm gonna have Nolan and Alice are currently Nolan and Alice end up talking to one another for a little while, and if I do get a chance to, I will slap on the end a little bit more time. Otherwise, I'll just have them interact next session. Oh god. Okay. So, whilst the party are wandering around, Penton, you have been Reggie, you've seen Gelda, approach, have a brief chat with Reggie in Lapinese, and the two of, Reggie ends up excusing himself, saying he needs to go and, basically lead Gelda back to the warp crystal. However, a few moments after that, you're approached by Lupus.
Hello, Lupus.
Hello, Penton. How you doing?
Alright, just being here, I've got that bloody song stuck in my head. But
Song? Oh, right, that one.
yeah, I'm not going to start singing it because it'll get stuck in your head too.
Well, I know you've only been back here a little while, but do you want to get it out of the way with now?
Sure, why not?
And Lupus very gently offers Penton a hand.
Well, Penton will take his hand.
Yeah. And the two of them end up heading to a very remote area. Right. Well. The area that you're led to is hidden behind what seems to be some sort of illusory wall that you end up walking straight through. And it's a large, sprawling garden of flowers in what appears to be a sort of circular shape, in the center of which is a singular tombstone, etched with the name Reginald Phineas.
I guess Penton will take a look around at the flowers, drink in the atmosphere for a bit, and with a heavy sigh will approach the tombstone.
And Lupus slowly approaches the tombstone with Penton, but keeping some fair distance. Well, this is
This is where he is.
yeah.
After, what, 2 decades of not seeing him?
Lupus has a kind of gentle but remorseful smile on his face. Well,
Not a single memory of the man to go by. Beyond just seeing a cart pulling away.
well, it's gonna sound strange, but might you, I guess, touch the tombstone? Might help things feel a little bit more grounded.
Sure, I guess, why not? And Penton will touch the tombstone, feeling a bit confused.
And the moment that so much as the little amount of hair, the little hairs on Penton's fingers touch that solid surface of stone, it's like a jolt of electricity running through your mind. And you remember everything. Every positive memory that you've had with Reginald up to this point, every harsh life lesson he's given you that you now realize you're kind of impassively following, even if you don't quite remember him. But there are no memories of your mother contained within what you do recall. She's very absent from a lot of this. Although you do have the memory of being spoken to after the two of them had had a fight over your presence in the household. That seemed, from what you can recall, is shortly before you were given up to the orphanage. And when you, I'd imagine, recoil from that kind of, it's not like, we're not talking like static shock, but if I had to make a comparison, it would be that, maybe like multiplied by 10. Like, it feels like someone has just stuck you with a bit of electricity. And as you recoil back, there is an illusory figure of a black-furred rabbit folk.
Dad?
In rather high-class attire, looking down at you with a rather pleasant but mellow smile.
Dad, is that you?
Well, it's good to see you, son. It's good to see you indeed.
I don't understand.
I don't expect you to.
Why do I know you? Why do I know you now? You were always there, but I thought you were never there. I don't understand.
This illusory silhouette of Reginald approaches and gently sits next to Penton. You see, son, and I'll make this quite simple. I had your memories locked away. Nothing exactly fancy, but had to do it, so you might have been a little bit happier.
Locked away my memories?
He nods. Of course. Had to make sure that you couldn't remember that you were a Vinius. I mean, you saw what happened to me. And although you can very clearly tell this is a silhouette, like an illusion, you can very much feel the weight of his arm as he places it round your shoulder. Don't worry too much. Let me tell you something now. You have the power to do whatever you want with your life. I'll tell you that now.
No, I just found out that I'm not good enough, so...
Lupus very quietly interjects. I wouldn't say that you specifically. And
Well, the whole guild seems to agree.
well, the rest of the guild is still uncertain about how these bloodline powers work, so... But Reginald, this illusion of Reginald does not seem to notice Lupus's presence there. If I were to describe Reginald's POV, it is literally just you there. Reginald looks to Penton. I'll tell you this now. Have you found one of the Black Fangs? Or the Red Sage?
Yes, I have.
Well, I'll tell you now. I used to follow around Anton Blackfang, constantly. I mean, the guy was absolutely quite the piece of man. But that's not why. You see, our family and the family of the Red Sage have had a relatively good connection with one another. Typically one-sided, but the Red Sage is the one that will be able to help you learn your power. As one of our blood, it's always the Red Sage that has the one to unlock and seal away. But they themselves are not exactly as special as the rest of us. The Red Sage can amplify, unlock, and seal, but they don't exactly get too much in the way of special and unique abilities like ours. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I guess. I was struggling to cope with the idea that the person that he thought had abandoned him as a child was actually always there the whole time and is now standing in front of him, and this is both the first and last time he will ever see him, so he's tearing up a bit. But while he was mentioning about the our power, and he was going to use our power to basically manifest a tissue to blow his nose with, because he is not doing too great.
Illusory tissue.
Yes, illusory tissue.
Sorry, that's just a really funny mental image. I don't know why.
Or handkerchief, I guess that's better.
Manifests a handkerchief or anything. Anyway.
Yeah.
Reginald looks Penton directly in the eyes. I'll tell you now, son. You're not alone. Whilst I might be a bit dead, and Reginald looks to the grave the two of you are currently sitting by.
I'd say you're more than a bit dead.
Well, I might not have made it to Carcanet like most people, but I'm still very much alive and kicking. And so is this semi-scripted hallucination that you're experiencing. Semi-scripted. Laced with a little bit of illusory runes, if you will.
So am I talking to you, or am I talking to a recording of you?
If I said both, would that make sense?
No.
The visuals that you're seeing are more based on what I looked like before. And this is kind of a pre-recorded visual. But the words that I'm speaking are currently all fresh. So what you see, both me and the area around you, are very much scripted. The rest, fresh. After all, I'm not gonna leave my special boy with, oh, beep boop, here's a fucking towel. Proceed to clean yourself with it or some shit like that.
You're a special boy.
Oh, stick a fucking cork in it, son.
I spent my whole life trying to prove you wrong, because I thought you thought I was nothing.
No, that'd be your mother. Your mother weren't exactly the nicest lady, and she was the one that signed you up for adoption. But, well, if it makes you feel any better, she was the one that went down first.
What?
Long story short, we were both taken out by a man known as Tuck.
Oh.
Yes. But I gave you up for adoption in the hopes that you wouldn't die. I made sure that, well, how would I put it? Our bloodline gets the capability to see a little bit into one of many possible realities. And I even went to Zodia to get my my fortune read by the council. And regardless of what happened, every single one resulted in my death and the death of my bit of a bitch of a wife and your unfortunately not so nice mother. What? If you're here, then it worked. It's a harsh world, I know. But you're not alone. And if things ever get bad enough, I can tell you where my soul is as well. I'm currently a little bit busy in the Nine Circles, trying to con a demon lord known as Lord Malatos out of his entire fortune. I did it with several others, and, well, let's just say that things were certainly getting spicy down there. We'll put it that way.
Like father, like son, I guess.
Well, I'm still rooting about.
Did you see my one?
I did. Well done.
You're proud of me.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't be more proud. The fact you're still alive and kicking says enough.
That means more to me than you could ever imagine.
The fact that you're still alive and kicking is what keep my soul still thriving and surviving.
I miss you, Dad.
Well, should the time and opportunity come along, I'll certainly try to see you. But obviously that'll require you to end up in the Nine Circles, or find someone that can, well, get Mr. Bag of Bones down there in the fucking ground, up and moving again.
Well, there's at least two people that are wanting to send me there, so maybe I will see you pretty soon.
No, you don't. You're the last of us, and I can tell you that now because every single other member of our family tree has either perished, or, well, not exactly ended up as a suitable candidate for, well, our abilities.
So what do I do now?
Survive. Find the Black Fangs, or whatever their descendant is.
He's standing behind me.
I wouldn't be able to see him, son.
No, I'm just letting you know.
Well, find him and stick to him like a fucking sheet of wet paper sticks to literally any surface. Be like glitter. Stay anywhere you can. That'll keep you safe. Maybe not be poncy.
Those are not the words I expected to hear from you.
I mean, were you really expecting anything, son?
I was not expecting to be told to be glitter.
Well, I'm sure you weren't exactly expecting to find anything except the tombstone and maybe some wilted flowers, but
Who planted the flowers?
me. I planted them.
Oh, I guess because you knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you look around, you'll find if you move some of the flowers out of the way, you'll find a few characters of a runic. Put them together. It'll make a useful tool for you.
Okay.
Consider it my first gift to my son. And should you end up in the 9 circles and encounter me at some point, well, first off, I'll probably slap you for ending up in the 9 circles in the first place. Second off, I'll do what I can.
We'll consider it the first of many belated birthday gifts.
Well, about that.
What?
There's a... I'll tell you now, son. One of those memories, it'll trigger once you're close enough, but there's something that our family has kept protected for years now, known as the Phantasmal Swan Song. It's in the plane of shadow. When you find it, protect it with your life. But also don't get too carried away with it.
Well, protecting it with my life.
No, the actual thing itself. The Phantasmal Swan Song is our family's heirloom. One of the things that our very first ancestor gave.
What does it do?
Well, one of the fun little things that'll allow you to basically create a perfect duplicate of someone else. Think like a simulacrum, but a borderline one-to-one replication. You just have to deal with the fact that they'll be slightly teal-colored in comparison to normal.
That's fine.
Just don't get carried away if you make 2 of yourself. I know people might tell you to go fuck yourself, but they don't mean it literally. And as you look to, you kind of...
read my mind, you little bastard.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that someone of our bloodlines considered that. But my one question. If you have met the last of the Black Fangs or the Red Sages, is he good looking?
Oh. Unbelievably so. Don't worry, Dad. I made you proud. I'm already in there.
And you see Reginald's expression light up. Well done, son. Now then. Unfortunately, this little scripted hallucination only has so much time on it. But, trust me, I'll see you again soon, okay?
Okay. See you around, Dad.
I'll see you soon, son. Don't worry. And you get a hand very gently ruffle between your ears before the hallucination dissipates. And Lupus is leaning up against one of the cavern walls with his arms crossed. Well, that was interesting.
Seems like I've been doing everything you wanted me to do this whole time.
And to think you didn't believe me.
Even yourself.
I would kick you in the leg for that, but
Not in front of my dad.
I mean, he can't see me anyway. See, that's the thing. This little grove that we're sitting in right now is protected by an illusory barrier. Think of it as a tiny pocket dimension, only accessible to 2 particular people, if you will. The Red Sage and the Illusory Sage. Seems like he was pretty specific. Gotta trust good handiwork.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, it's not exactly like I haven't seen Reginald before. The guy was certainly a nice person to be around. And you were sitting there worried, oh no, he's not gonna love me. Dad's gonna think I'm cringe. Sorry, I shouldn't try and be humorous. It's just one of the few ways that I can mentally process some things is to make humor of it until it becomes normalized to me.
I know. It's painfully obvious.
Yes, it's not exactly like I'm trying to hide it either. Anyway, he left you something here. So let's see what it is. And there are, as you go around the grove investigating, there are 2 things here. I have to make sure that I've got the other one correct. So as you are investigating around, you find the characters that translate to the runic polymorph, the thing that you wanted Lupus to teach you.
Ooh.
And then where is the other one? I had another one here that I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Where art thou? The other one, seeming to be a little bit strange. As the rough translation into common is Barrier of Terror.
Okay.
It seems a little specific. And Lupus frowns when he looks at it. That's a little bit specific, but handy, I guess.
What is it?
Well, it's essentially how do I word it? Lupus frowns. It's essentially a way of being able to manipulate your fear of something into a physical form. Think of it like basically a force field.
I don't fear anything.
Lupus crunches his knuckles.
Wait, no, that makes me feel something else.
And Lupus face palms.
I don't fear anything but my own inadequacy. And Dad's just told me that I'm not inadequate, so I don't fear anything.
And Lupus bares his fangs. Well, I will certainly give you reason to fear. Or at least find a usage of that fear.
Wait, what did I do?
And Lupus has a sarcastic smirk. Lupus's expression kind of melts into a sarcastic smirk. Oh, did somebody get a little bit worried? Oh. Anyway, we should probably get moving. Obviously, you'll have your time to do what you're gonna do. But I'll try and help you along your way.
Apparently all I need to do is stick with you, so I'm already well on my way.
Well,
And not die, that too. If you
I
could help
mean-
with that, that'd be great.
One's a no. Lucas's shoulders sink a little bit as you say that. I have one method of doing it, but it's a bit weird.
I'm all ears. Thanks for grab his ears.
Lucas's eyebrows raise a little bit, and then he shakes his head shakes his head as though he's trying to refocus himself. Anyway, there is a way to do it, but it requires forming a pact. Specifically, a blood pact.
Okay.
Between yourself and either me, Zippy, or both of us. The problem being is that, well, how do I put it? Forming a blood pact with myself or Ziffy or both of us means that your lifespan will increase to whatever percentage of ours is. And because we're technically immortal outside of being flat out.
Any percentage of infinity is infinity, right? Got it.
Yep. Lucas nods. The problem being is that that means that you will end up well, the same thing that myself and Ziffy have both had many an existential crisis about, is that you're going to watch the people around you eventually fade. Because the reality of what we're planning to do, sealing the Lillian Beast away, means that she's going to be stuck in the Astral Sea, or the Chaos Sea, or the Astral Chaos, whatever you want to call it. She'll essentially be sealed out of being able to manifest anywhere within Lunannon or its planes. So she'll be stuck out in the middle of nowhere, no followers, no ability to form, but she is still unkillable technically. She'll be sealed away to permanently be stuck in a state of constant death, but she will never truly perish because you cannot destroy a concept without the intervention of a creation deity, if that makes sense. It's almost like trying to bar an intrusive thought by drinking.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Lucas raises one of his eyebrows. No, you know exactly what I'm on about.
Yeah, duh. Never mind.
Anyway, so we can basically, it's basically the equivalent of ejecting her out into an infinite minefield
Then why is
that
this
she cannot
relevant?
return from.
And why is this relevant?
Because it technically means that the pact that myself and Ziffy made with Lunarius of we will continue to live until she is gone, at which point we will return to normal, hypothetically cannot be achieved. We can't permanently erase something if it's not erasable, at least to a full extent. As long as one person believes she exists, or believes in the Lillian Beast, she will still exist out in the astral chaos.
What if we sealed away everybody's memories?
But you can't do that. That's the problem.
Why not? Dad did it.
For you
And I still
specifically.
don't know how I feel about that.
For you specifically, and that probably drained some of the life in him. That probably took months of forward planning and having those people in the same space. And it's not something that we can do.
But we've got eternity, apparently. Well, you do.
It depends on whether you want to have to deal with that as well. I could explain it in more detail, but it won't make complete sense to you right now.
I mean, I need to not die so that world can live. It's kind of my whole destiny. So, anything that makes that easier makes sense. Doesn't mean I don't get to see Dad, but
You can still technically see him. We would just have to etro him back. I'll explain that another time. But it's that, or you reproduce. Obviously it means you will die and it will be quite sad, but that does mean that your bloodline keeps going. That is what happens to all of the Sage bloodlines. Eventually we will either be faced with the question of finding ways to become immortal, or finding ways to continue our bloodline.
I got a pretty good thing going with you, and if I bring a woman to that,
Also, if you die, that'd be really sad.
yeah, that'd be sad too. But
And Lupus clips Penta around the back of the head. Just
ow!
serves you right, you pain in the ass. Anyway, let's go and find wherever I left Nolan, because I'm concerned that leaving a satyr born on his own in the middle of Rabbit Hobble might not end well.
Maybe he's torturing Mira by leaving her next to the wall of bottles.
Unfortunately, that would be a pleasant outcome of that. Anyway,
Shit! It's stuck in my fucking head.
and for context, Lupus has given Penton a gentle, punch in the shoulder as he starts humming that. No, because it gets stuck in my head. And if I get stuck in my head, it's going to get stuck in my head for weeks. Anyway.
But you didn't realise, because He's unlocked my memories, so now I remember all of the times that I heard that fucking song.
That is unfortunate for you. Anyway. And so, Penton and Lupus exit the grove and basically go on a wander. Swap the track back. So, in the meantime, Milo, you've managed to find a good place to hide temporarily with your aggressive tuba movement. And you see Penton and Lupus appearing from basically nowhere.
Hello, Milo. Nice tuba, I guess. Why do you have a tuba?
Hi. Mirror, if that helps. Mirror, if that helps.
Strangely, it does.
Speaking of...
Lupus raises an eyebrow. Well, I think I can already gather what's happening, but do I want to ask why the tube is there, or do you reckon I should? No, actually, no. I think I can figure this one out as well.
Did you at least pay for it?
We're renting it.
You're renting
Borrowing.
a tuba?
Yes.
With what collateral?
For the day. Fucking mirror. Oh shit.
Say, Penton, do you want to just stand by the entrance of this alleyway real quick? Just trust me.
What, Stabby Alley? Yeah, sure.
No, it's not Stabby Alley. We're standing in the alleyway, you dumbass.
Oh.
And you stand at the end of it, the one that's facing out in the street.
I was just trying to scare him. Sure.
And as Penton stands in the front of the alleyway, a group of 6 ladies of the night, being led by a flying Alec, zoom past, with Mira screeching as she chases after them, completely missing Penton, Milo, and Lupus, who are in the alleyway. And Lupus looks to Milo. Say,
Punch tag?
you know what? I'm not surprised.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't fucking know who's it.
Well, I'm gonna guess by the fact that Mira's running towards them, screeching.
Probably.
Oh wait, hold on. And then two more ladies of the night sprint past. One of which is flailing her fists around, trying to get the one in front of her.
I'll be honest. I've lived here a long time, and I've seen a lot of things, but that is a first for me.
I mean, it's free exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the usual type that they get, but exercise nonetheless.
Well, Mr. Tuberman, I believe using Penton as a body block has saved you from your punch tag fate. Can't imagine that chasing after a flying demon, a collection of respectable profession women, and then Mira would exactly be an easy one to land a blow or a strike on with a tuba wrapped around you.
I need to make my way back to that place and give it back.
Yeah, well, you've still got the what I imagine is a 24-hour rental. You've got time.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, you look like you're debating asking me something.
I am.
Well, feel free to ask. Penton can't hear you right now.
Wait, what? Oh,
Penton's he's too busy staring at the ladies running away.
Oh dear. I wanted to ask if I could be temporarily stationed at the Forest Rangers back in Honeymill for a while. I need to get away from the guild for a bit.
I perfectly understand that. I was honestly waiting for you to ask me something of the like. I'll tell you what. I know it's only a brief ask now. But what I'll do is when we get back, I'll arrange something for you. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe not get you paired with Sieg, because I know that might be a bit awkward. But I could ask for you to be one of the Forest Guard Guild members. Or sorry, things like Forest Rangers. They keep changing around the second half of it because I can't settle on what sounds better. But I'll see if I can get you to be one of the person that they position with Paradita as or around the mountain, as we'll call it, to
Okay.
patrol. Anyway, before they come back, I'm gonna get me and Penton are gonna go see where Nolan's gone off to, and yes,
Alright.
I would suggest running the other direction, and just for your sake, I know these back alleys quite well, but and Lupus seems to be debating something briefly. Might I suggest that you just hold still a second? This is going to seem very strange, but
I am now concerned.
Lupus casts a spell on you, followed by a rune. Casting haste on you, followed by runic amplification. Meaning that you now have an extra 120 feet of movement speed. There we go. That should work. Now, get moving, because I think I can hear their voices.
Nice. Running in the opposite direction. With the tuba in hand still.
Yes.
Bruh.
He won't get away. Mary always was a feisty one.
Say that about Alec, he's flying!
Tries to go for your heels.
No.
There's a weird thing about it.
Aggressive tuba playing.
Okay, so Milo sprints off,
Still
aggressively
playing the tuba.
playing the tuba, with Lupus looking mildly amused as Milo basically bolts it off into the distance.
At least he's getting his money's worth.
Well, that's true. Anyway, we should go find Nolan, because once again,
Yeah, we should get out of here before Stacy arrives.
Stacy? Oh, right, yes, I forget. Rabbit. Anyway, so we transition back over to Alice and Nolan, who have been sitting together having some pleasant conversation.
Indeed.
So anyway, lass, as I was saying, the unfortunate thing is that me folks kind of perished. It's a little bit awkward. Do you wanna know how they went out though?
Wait, who perished?
Me folks, me parents, me mother
Oh,
and
your
father.
parents. I thought you said your thoughts. I was like, oh no, you can't think anymore.
I mean, sometimes I wish I couldn't think, but you know.
Bloody hell, you're coming at me with all these burdens. What's wrong, darling?
Oh well, you know. I exist for a starter, but anyway. No, I thought I would share some of my life with you, so you can work out that I'm not exact. I might insult you a little bit, but I promise I'm not a complete cunt.
It's okay, I'm used to insults. Nothing I haven't heard before.
Well, I suppose that's a good start. Also, calling you lice before. I apologize, but you'll have to please just try and make sure that you do call me Norlan. It's Norlen. Norlan.
Nolan. Yeah, I think I said it right, but maybe I didn't. No, I apologise if I didn't, you know.
I think the first time you
Norlan.
tried to address me by name, you called me Norl. You didn't call me Norlan, you called me Nolan. And I was a little bit peeved, although I hadn't slept in a couple of days. But anyway, shall I tell you the fascinating way that me parents went out? I'm sure a lot of people seem to find it funny. and then they get a little bit
Well,
awkward.
sure. If you're so willing to share, then I mean, I'm all ears.
Oh, of course, lass. I'm not gonna sit there and be tight-lipped. 9 times out of 10, tight lips are not exactly the best way to go about things, if you know what I'm saying, anyway. And he has
I
an
know, I
amused
appreciate
smile.
that, but there's a lot of tight lips around here. I'm telling you.
Well, lass, maybe we should undo that. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. The official diagnosis for what the rabbit hole doctor decided to come out with was the fact that they had died from lustful, exuberant sex. The most brilliant fucking wording I've ever seen on a fucking mortician's note. It was amazing.
Parents died having the greatest sex of their life.
Literally, it's like the one way that any rabbit folk wants to go out. It was fucking amazing.
Oh my god! How exactly do you? Do I want to know?
I mean, I don't know the full details myself, but I mean,
Okay.
I got to imagine that it must have been pretty fucking good if it took them both out.
Is it just a rabbit folk thing? Do I need to worry about dying having?
No, I don't think so, lass. Don't worry.
Okay.
Anyway, you're kind of known for living for fucking years, and I think you probably got a bit more common sense in you than meets the eye. You don't seem like the smartest lass, but you're not the dumbest. I think that achievement in this group probably goes to your second cousin, lovely little lass from Mira over there. Oh wait, never mind. I think that was her in the distance, but anyway, lass.
Mira has the knowledge, but maybe not the common sense. I like to think that I have the common sense, but not the knowledge.
Well, I mean, from what I saw a couple over the last couple days, you've been hanging around Thorn quite a bit. Trying to improve your smarts, are you, lass?
Oh, of course. What am I gonna? I can't just stay dumb for the rest of my life. I mean, I've been dumb for so many years now. I need to do something about it. You know, that's not how I want to go down in history. Alice, yeah, Alice the dumb one.
No, lass, I don't think anybody wants to go down in history as the dumbass. Don't worry.
Exactly. So I think so I've started making some changes so that I won't be known as Alice the dumb one when I go down in the great books as Diana Power's daughter, Alice the not dumb one.
I don't think that that's a very inspiring title, but I like the aspirations as to what you're going for. My suggestion, lass, is that now that it seems like your second cousin and the quiet devil are getting a bit more friendly with one another. Not in that context, but I can try and take you under my wing, or I can try and get the white mage of this group. Okay, I can try and get her to try and teach you a little bit more of what to do with your smarts.
Okay. Doesn't really want to see me alive, so
Well, I wouldn't say that now, lass. I wouldn't say that.
Nolan, I truly don't think you know the extent of the situation. I basically murdered Kay.
Well,
Accident.
I do know that, lass. I've
So
very much been told that. I think the only thing that's really stopping the two of you getting along is the fact that neither of you really knows how to approach it. So, if
we've kind of been avoiding each other because it's awkward. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty awkward.
Well then, lass, let the big old Fay-Bun do his best to help you fix things up. Nothing like an objective third party. I mean, hey, what's the worst that could happen?
Kay murders me again. Oh,
Nah.
I die.
Trust me, lass. If necessary, I could probably take you both out in the blink of an eye. You'll
Right,
be
well,
fine.
Nolan, you're coming as a mediator. If we're ever having this conversation, in myself, okay, you're coming to mediate.
Well, I probably shouldn't say it, but I'd certainly be coming as a mediator and not a mediator. Oh wait, wrong persons. Anyway, I'm sure I can sort you two out, and then be helping out the guildmaster with checking around the grounds to make sure there's no more potholes. Who knows? Maybe if I do a good enough job, you. Actually, no. That's probably not a good job to make. Who knows? Maybe you and Kay might get along so well, you'll become like sisters. Actually,
Oh, I truly doubt it. I used to get along so well with Mira.
well,
She was my best friend.
it seems like she's kind of stepped away from you a little bit. So
Yeah.
now you have the Faebone as your best friend, and we can teach each other spells.
Yes, Alec was just teaching me Infernal. Do you speak any Infernal?
Well, I don't speak Infernal, but perhaps I could teach you a little bit of Lebanese.
Well, let me tell you what I learned today. As she's gonna say the line in Infernal that Alec taught her.
Alec does not know. Sorry, not Alec. Fucking. Okay, that's a 22 with a nat 20. Nolan just chuckles. Lass, I think you might want to take a little bit more time to work it out. And also, I don't completely understand what you're saying, but let me teach you some Lebanese, and we'll get you rolling with
please.
the rabbits. Not literally, unless that's what.
I've already been in with the rabbits. I'm experienced.
Well, perfect. Then you'll pick up the language quite easy. And I'm going to end the session there with Nolan starting to teach Alice some lovely Lebanese.
Lesbianese.
Lesbianese.
Anyway,
Sorry.
end of the session, so see you in the next one.
Bye.